Hi, we are Group 4, and our second project puts focus on social minorities and discrimination. Through the research of feminist theology, we learned the Christian God seeks to overthrow the dichotomous structure that results in the oppression of one group over another. Also, seeing the contrast between Jesus' attitude of finding the one lost lamb and the current society's turning a blind eye on the mistreated, we wanted to further explore the complex aspects and restoration of social minorities. Hence, our second project is in the form of Theater of the Oppressed, which would allow us to creatively explore the topic. This form of theater is unique because after the actors perform the scene of the main dilemma, the audience intervenes and actively engages with the play to discuss their own version of possible scenarios according to diverse interpretations. For the next few minutes, you will see our version of Theater of the Oppressed, starting with an allegorical scenario of turtles and rabbits.
Once upon a time, a company was co-founded by a rabbit and a turtle. A race determined the ones who's in charge, and the winner, the rabbit, became the CEO and took over. After that incident, turtles were harassed, mocked, and beaten up. Rabbits exploited the turtles for their own needs and humiliated them for being slow. More than that, turtles were barred from having authority, and the company regulations always had rabbits' back. However, through persistent work of the turtles, one turtle earned the right to challenge the current rabbit CEO in a race, and that turtle won. Now he has become the new CEO for the company, and he's given a speech.
Now that I have become the first turtle CEO in company history, I shall admit that I find myself in front of a huge dilemma. What should I do with the rabbit workers? As always being one of the turtles, I recall myself yelling "Turtles' rights matter" at the rabbit CEOs, who all just replied back with a cold sneer right in front of my tearful eyes. I recall myself how the previous rabbit CEO, with meaningless promises to bring about equality, had deceitfully crafted systems that excluded us from taking higher positions. Now, should I decide for the sake of us turtles, or should I focus more on constructing an equal working environment, looking towards the future of this company? Wait, what is equal in the first place? Fully ignoring one species? But then are we to completely ignore the past in which the turtles were the ones who suffered?
I think rabbits should be fired, obviously. Rabbits took their privilege for granted, so I think firing rabbits and having a favorable policy for turtle is a reasonable compensation. Turtles have to overturn structural discrimination they suffered. Rabbits got enough advantage in the past, so it would be justifiable to give a preference to the turtles now.
Well, firing rabbits seems like a way of compensation, but nothing more. What about the unequal systems themselves? The past wrongdoings created biased structures that still push turtles aside to the peripherals of society today. What we need is a new system that is more favorable to the turtles in order to truly restore equality. Maybe bestowing promotion upon those who are faster swimmers. Now that's the true way of compensation, since it works to place the finish line according to the unequal positions in society, closer to those who are further behind and farther from those who benefited from past wrongdoings.
Essentially, you are suggesting that we try to create a fair game by giving unfair advantages to some. The rabbits nowadays don't come up with new ways to discriminate against the turtles, right? Punishing them is essentially confronting the current generation with sins that they haven't directly committed. All the Turtle CEO will have to do is simply devise a new system of promotion that is fair for all. This in itself is acknowledging the past as wrong, but it does not excessively limit the current generation rabbits' rights.
Thank you very much for your ideas. So I believe the three arguments proposed by our dear audiences could be understood as different balance points between the past and the future, between bringing about reparative justice or establishing an ideal environment with a fresh new start. I, as a CEO of this company, would also like to remind all of you that we also must make sure to find yet another balance point between factual and moral judgments, not only asking ourselves if a solution is morally right, but also asking if it would be practical enough to actually relieve the problem and let the company and its members progress into the future. Now the question is up to you. Where do you think would be the rightful balance point in this two-dimensional dilemma?